Hello friends. Ooh, hair, look at that. I've recently bleached it and cut it, and I've got a little can't do anything about it now. This avatar's going soon, so you're aware. Right, I'm going to do a Lovers in Separation reading. And this is about what your person's thinking, going through, etc. Now, I'm going to do this slightly different to my normal reading style. This is the reading style I do across on the paid for subscription channel, The Pay of the Tree of the On. Yeah, if you're booking a tarot reading with me, this isn't the style you get. You get the divination, because I'm a divination tarot reader. But anyway, these are collective. Tell you what resonates. So, what's going on for your person? Your person. Are they your person? They might not be your person. Just because the other readers say they're your person, they might not be. Let's have a look. The person you've got your mind on. So it's more about what they're thinking, what's cracking off with them. Right. So let's get started. Right. Not very good. Right. So I don't describe the cards as much on here either. So Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position. So I feel like they've got into a bit of a negative energy. They've got into a negative mindset. Now remember that we vibrate from here and here, and when we're getting frustrated and we're getting negative, we start negatively manifesting. So this is why it's important to stick to positive affirmations. Say, you know, this love is going to work out. They're already mine, blah blah blah. But be careful, because you might be manifesting the wrong person. But I feel like they've gone into a negative mindset. Okay, about the connection, right? The reason why I'm going that way, as opposed to energy, is we then got the ace. I need to do an RTS because I'm all over the place. I've got this weird bloody stank, prickly energy all over me. I'm struggling to get my words out. I do after I've done my recordings. Ace of Swords in the reverse. Swords are where we think words we use. So at the moment they're refusing to identify that they need to change the mindset. Okay, the reason for this is King of Wands in the reverse position. They've gone into toxic masculinity. Now, I don't feel necessarily that they are a toxic masculine, but I feel like they've dipped into toxic masculine traits, which is I'm right, you're wrong, I know better, blah, 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 blah. That's a toxic masculine attitude to have. You know, as I always say, you know, most of the spiritual community are toxic masculines, because they go, I'm right, you're wrong, you'll know when you get there, blah, 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 blah. And it's BS. Everybody's on a different path. We don't know all the answers. I don't care what you're connected to, be it the Arcturian Council of Lightworkers or whatever BS you want to say. It's all about levels, right? The light side goes so far, and then above that you've got these councils, okay? And if you just keep going, you end up going back to source. But people don't want to accept that. Anyway, that was a side note. That has nothing to do with this. Glanced up, it was 333 on the timer, so that number might be significant for you. Right. Right, this feels like an advice row. So if we were reading for them, this is the advice that I'd be giving them. Obviously, I'm not reading for them, but this is the advice I'd be giving them if it was a reading for them. So, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse position. They need to realise that whilst they're stuck in this energy, things have gone off course. Now, in a normal tarot reading, I say this is the stick or twist card. Yeah. They've dipped into this negative energy. Okay, what they need to do is High Priestess reconnect with their intuition, let the intuition guide them into Ace of Wands, reassessing who they are, what they want, where they're going with this connection. Because, like I say, they've slipped into toxic masculinity. Like I say, I'm not saying they're a nasty, evil person. I'm just saying that they've got into that I'm right, you're wrong attitude, and started to go down the lines of like I say, negative self-talk, that, you know, they might be putting you down a little bit behind your back, you know what I mean? And it comes from a place of I feel like they can't handle the fact that you because I feel like you're probably the feminine energy, and you're probably the one who's gone, no, sorry, and they can't handle that. The ego's kicked in, and it's now blocking them. So let's continue. Get the cards up, they're a bit slippy. Right, okay, so this could be divination row, which might be good. Right, so 9 of Cups. So reflecting back, no, this feels more like it's advice for you, to be honest with you. 9 of Cups, reflecting back, realising what emotion you put into the connection, and being proud of yourself. If they can't see that, if they can't see your worth and value, if they can't see what you bring to the table, F them sideways. They can watch you rise. What you're being asked to do is 10 of Wands, release the connection, okay? 6 of Cups, that'll bring in balance on an emotional level. Can we get in a divination row, please? Can we get a divination row? See what's coming up. Now, funnily enough, I have 3 exact ones come out, so I'm going to go with that. Right, so as it stands, 9 of Swords, they're going to remain blindfolded. This person's ego is massive, absolutely massive. And I don't mean like ego, look at me. It's more like they think they know it all, sadly. And they're restricting themselves. They're going to continue to sit there going, when's it going to change? That they're going to miss out on opportunities. Now, I feel like that opportunity is you. Now, this Cloud Hang Cup combination often, for me, talks about the 7 of Cups, which can talk about wish fulfillment and abundance, and I feel like that's you. They're just going to continue to miss out what you're bringing to the table. 3 of Cups, celebration card. I often call this having cheerleaders and supporters. Can we get a clarifying that 3 of Cups, please? So hard to deal with. Right, okay. I feel, because we've got the Ace of Wands come out in the reverse position this time, I feel that they've got people around them that are nurturing this behaviour. I feel like they've got people around them that are nurturing their ego, basically. You know, if it's somebody who's held in quite high esteem, and so normally the person that people go to for advice and stuff like that, they could be a reader, they could be psychic themselves, they've got people feeding their ego, and friends and family and stuff like that are, you know, fueling this. You know, they're not bad people because it's in the upright position, they're not doing it deliberately, but, you know, the thing is, when people tell us stuff and it's our friends, we're going to believe them. You know what I mean? And if this person's kind of, for want of a better phrase, don't want to be disrespectful, delusional to the fact that what's actually going off and what they're actually missing here, and they're telling their friends that this, you know, that you're no good for them, you're this, you're that, and the other, then the friends are going to automatically go, yeah, you're right, you know, F them, you know what I mean? They're no good for you, blah, blah, blah. And it's almost like feeding into it. So final card, just going to do an overall outcome / advice card. 2 of Pentacles, they're going to remain stuck. This is a karmic cycle. They're stuck in a karmic cycle with themselves, and until they break that, there's nothing you can do other than release it, let it go, move on with your own life. Sadly, this person's stuck. Right, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. If you want a personalised reading, like I said, I don't offer these privately, but you can have a standard tarot reading or psychic readings. Go to Stan Store via my profile, find the link. Ta-ta.